Imagine unlocking the power to control your mind, conquer challenges, and stay unstoppable no matter what life throws at you. Welcome to The Secret to Mental Toughness, the audiobook that will transform the way you think, act, and achieve. In the next hour, you'll discover 10 life-changing chapters designed to build discipline, resilience, focus, confidence, patience, stress mastery, perseverance, and self-awareness. Every chapter delivers practical, actionable strategies you can apply immediately to see results in your daily life. You will learn how to face discomfort, overcome fear, sharpen your mind, and create routines that strengthen your mental strength day after day. This audiobook is completely ad-free, uninterrupted, and created to give you a smooth, powerful experience. Hit subscribe now and join our community that receives fresh, motivational audiobooks every single day. Transform your mindset, take control of your life, and unlock the unstoppable version of yourself today. Chapter 1. Build unwavering discipline to conquer challenges every single day. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is a muscle that grows stronger every time you choose action over comfort. Life will constantly test your limits, and the difference between success and stagnation is not talent or luck, it is discipline. Discipline allows you to keep moving forward when motivation fades, when fatigue sets in, and when distractions try to pull you away from your goals. It is the invisible force that turns ordinary people into unstoppable achievers. Every great accomplishment in history, every person who reached extraordinary heights, relied on unwavering discipline as the foundation of their success. Without it, talent alone cannot carry you, and inspiration is fleeting. Building discipline begins with commitment to yourself. It starts with making decisions that prioritize long-term results over short-term comfort. Every day presents choices that test your resolve. You can choose to stay in bed and scroll through endless content, or wake up early and take control of your day. You can choose to eat what is convenient and easy, or fuel your body with what strengthens it. You can choose to avoid tasks that feel uncomfortable or attack them head-on, knowing discomfort is the training ground for growth. Discipline is formed in these daily choices, repeated over and over until they become second nature. A key principle of discipline is consistency. Showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, separates those who achieve from those who dream. It is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Progress compounds. Completing small tasks daily, even when they seem insignificant, builds momentum that carries you through bigger challenges. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, not what you feel like doing. It is following through on commitments to yourself, even when external validation is absent. Every step forward strengthens the habit and strengthens the mind. Time management is an essential tool in building unwavering discipline. Without structure, discipline can become scattered and ineffective. Identify priorities, allocate time, and set boundaries for distractions. Focus is strengthened when time is respected and organized. The morning hours are particularly powerful. Waking up early and taking control of your day sends a signal to your mind that you are in command. A disciplined morning routine sets the tone, reinforces self-control, and eliminates reliance on willpower later in the day. When the mind is clear and structured, challenges feel manageable rather than overwhelming. Another crucial aspect of discipline is learning to embrace discomfort. Growth does not occur in comfort zones. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to train your mind. When tasks feel hard, energy is low, or failure seems likely, discipline is the bridge between fear and action. Training your mind to tolerate discomfort strengthens resilience and builds confidence. Each time you persist through difficulty, the mind rewires itself to expect action instead of avoidance. Over time, challenges that once seemed impossible become opportunities to demonstrate your strength. Accountability reinforces discipline. Write down goals, track progress, and measure outcomes. External accountability, whether through mentors, peers, or public commitments, creates pressure to maintain consistency. Internal accountability is even more critical. Take ownership of your actions, successes, and failures without blaming circumstances. Discipline flourishes when you recognize that your choices determine your results. Waiting for external conditions to be perfect is a trap. Real growth happens when you act despite obstacles. Self-control is an integral part of discipline. It is the ability to resist immediate gratification in favor of long-term gains. Every time you delay impulse for a greater purpose, you strengthen the muscle of self-mastery. It is in the daily acts of restraint, choosing the gym over the couch, a healthy meal over convenience, a challenging task over procrastination, that true mental toughness develops. These small acts accumulate, shaping character and building the confidence to handle larger obstacles. Visualization can support the development of discipline. Imagine yourself executing your day flawlessly, completing tasks efficiently, and responding to challenges calmly and decisively. Picture the results of consistent effort and the satisfaction of achieving your goals. Visualization primes the mind for action and reinforces commitment. When faced with distractions or resistance, recalling this mental image strengthens resolve and provides clarity. Discipline is not only action, but also the mental framework that supports consistent behavior. Discipline is enhanced by setting clear boundaries and avoiding unnecessary temptations. Environment shapes behavior. Surround yourself with reminders of your goals and reduce exposure to distractions. The mind is easily influenced, so controlling what you allow in your space is crucial. Limit negative influences, unnecessary entertainment, and toxic relationships that drain energy. Replace them with habits, people, and routines that reinforce your commitment to self-improvement. Every choice you make in shaping your environment is an investment in your discipline. Reflection and review are essential practices for growth. Daily self-assessment allows you to recognize successes, identify areas of improvement, and adjust strategies. Discipline is not rigid obedience, it is intelligent consistency. By reflecting on your actions and outcomes, you learn from mistakes without judgment and celebrate progress without complacency. This cycle of action, reflection, and adjustment ensures that discipline continues to strengthen over time, creating lasting change in behavior and mindset. Real-life application of discipline requires breaking large goals into manageable steps. Discipline is often intimidating because the end result feels distant. Divide tasks into daily, achievable actions. Celebrate completion of each step, not as the final destination, but as reinforcement of your commitment. This method reduces overwhelm and maintains motivation while building a consistent habit of effort. Discipline is reinforced every time you choose action, regardless of scale, over inaction. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is constant. Motivation comes and goes, influenced by mood, energy, or circumstance. Discipline is the steady force that carries you forward when motivation is absent. It is the choice to act regardless of emotion. Relying solely on inspiration is a trap. Mental toughness requires building habits that persist even in adversity. Discipline transforms intentions into results and makes progress inevitable. The journey of discipline is also a journey of self-respect. Every action taken in alignment with your goals reinforces your sense of capability and integrity. Each completed task, each resisted temptation, Each moment of focused effort strengthens belief in your ability to control your life. Discipline is a declaration that you value yourself and your potential. It is a practice that shapes identity, turning thoughts into habits and habits into character. Discipline is contagious. As it strengthens within you, it influences others around you. Friends, family, and colleagues respond to consistency, reliability, and self-control. Leading by example inspires others and reinforces your own commitment. The more disciplined you become, the easier it is to sustain momentum, because action becomes the standard, not the exception. Building unwavering discipline requires persistence, patience, and intentionality. It is forged in small daily actions, in choices made under resistance, and in the commitment to remain consistent when results are not immediate. Discipline is not a temporary strategy. It is a lifestyle that transforms thinking, behavior, and outcomes. It allows you to confront challenges without hesitation, overcome obstacles without fear, and achieve goals with confidence and purpose. In conclusion, unwavering discipline is the foundation of mental toughness and personal growth. It begins with small decisions, grows through consistent action, and solidifies through self-awareness and reflection. Embrace discomfort, structure your time, resist impulses, and maintain accountability. Build habits that reinforce commitment, surround yourself with supportive environments, and visualize success to strengthen resolve. Each day offers a chance to practice discipline, and every choice you make reinforces your ability to conquer challenges. Discipline is the key that unlocks potential, turns effort into results, and transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary journeys. Master it, and nothing can stand in your way. This chapter provides the roadmap to take control of your actions, strengthen your mind, and create a life of achievement and resilience. Unwavering discipline is the tool, the practice, and the mindset that will empower every decision, every day, and every goal you pursue. It is the first step on the path to becoming truly unstoppable. Chapter 2. Strengthen resilience by facing discomfort and embracing hard lessons. Resilience is the foundation of mental toughness and the engine that propels you through life's most difficult challenges. It is not something that can be inherited or learned from others. It is built deliberately through experience, reflection, and action. Every moment of discomfort, every setback, and every failure is an opportunity to strengthen your capacity to endure and grow. Life does not reward avoidance or excuses. It rewards those who can face adversity with clarity, courage, and consistency. Strengthening resilience begins with the decision to stop running from discomfort and to engage with it directly. Discomfort is a signal, not a punishment. When you feel stress, fear, or resistance, it indicates that you are approaching a boundary, a point where growth is possible. The instinct to avoid pain or difficulty is natural, but succumbing to it limits your potential. Resilient people acknowledge these feelings without judgment and then act intentionally despite them. They understand that growth requires moving through what feels uncomfortable rather than around it. By stepping into challenges instead of retreating, you train your mind to remain steady, confident, and unshaken in the face of adversity. One practical way to build resilience is to intentionally seek experiences that push your limits. This does not mean reckless risk-taking, but controlled exposure to situations that challenge your comfort zone. It could be physical, like training in harsh conditions, or mental, like confronting tasks that feel intimidating or overwhelming. Each experience teaches you something valuable: how to tolerate discomfort, how to manage emotions under pressure, and how to recover quickly from setbacks. Over time, these lessons become ingrained, creating a mindset that no challenge feels insurmountable. Reflection is critical to transforming discomfort into growth. Every hardship carries a lesson, but it only becomes useful if you take the time to analyze it. Ask yourself what you can learn from failure, what choices contributed to the outcome, and how you can approach similar situations differently in the future. Resilience is not about ignoring mistakes. It is about learning from them without letting them define you. Each reflection strengthens judgment, improves decision-making, and equips you with strategies for facing the next challenge more effectively. Resilient people also develop the habit of controlling their internal dialogue. Thoughts have power over action, and negative or defeatist thinking can quickly undermine your ability to cope with adversity. By consciously choosing empowering and rational thoughts, you create mental structures that allow you to persevere. When discomfort arises, remind yourself that it is temporary and that it serves a purpose in your development. Treat challenges as opportunities to practice patience, persistence, and strength. The more you reinforce this mindset, the easier it becomes to maintain composure under pressure. Physical well-being is closely tied to resilience. A body in poor condition struggles to endure challenges, and stress impacts energy, focus, and emotional stability. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest are not optional. They are essential tools for cultivating endurance. The physical practice of pushing your body builds a sense of capability that extends to the mind. Each moment of exertion teaches control, perseverance, and determination. A strong body supports a strong mind, and resilience grows where they are aligned. Resilience also requires patience. Growth rarely occurs overnight. Discomfort can feel endless, failures can feel crushing, and obstacles can seem insurmountable. In these moments, patience allows you to persist without giving in to frustration or despair. It creates space to assess situations objectively, to plan strategically, and to continue acting even when progress is slow. Resilient individuals understand that perseverance and incremental improvement are far more powerful than impulsive reactions or quick fixes. The ability to stay the course despite difficulty is what separates the strong from the ordinary. Building resilience involves taking responsibility for your life. It is easy to blame circumstances, other people, or luck when things go wrong, but this mindset weakens you. True strength emerges when you own your actions and their consequences. Each challenge becomes a personal training ground, an opportunity to refine your response and reinforce your self-mastery. Responsibility empowers you to act decisively and remain proactive even when conditions are unfavorable. It turns obstacles into lessons and adversity into preparation for the future. A critical component of resilience is adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and rigid thinking can cause unnecessary suffering. Resilient individuals approach challenges with flexibility, looking for solutions rather than fixating on problems. They are willing to change strategies, adjust expectations, and explore new perspectives when necessary. This ability to adapt allows them to navigate adversity efficiently and emerge stronger than before. Flexibility does not mean weakness. It is a deliberate choice to remain effective under pressure. Resilience is strengthened through consistency. Daily habits, no matter how small, accumulate to build mental toughness. Simple acts like maintaining a routine, completing tasks even when difficult, and committing to self-improvement reinforce the mind's capacity to handle stress. Each successful encounter with discomfort reinforces confidence and trust in your own abilities. Consistency also creates a sense of momentum. As you see progress over time, it becomes easier to face increasingly challenging situations with composure and determination. Emotional regulation is an integral part of resilience. Experiencing discomfort often triggers fear, frustration, or anger. Learning to observe these emotions without being controlled by them allows you to act rationally and maintain focus. Techniques such as mindful breathing, visualization, and cognitive reframing can help redirect energy from reactive impulses to productive actions. By managing your emotions effectively, you prevent setbacks from derailing your progress and strengthen your capacity to endure adversity. Resilience requires courage. It is easy to avoid difficulty, but courage allows you to step into challenges even when fear is present. Every act of courage reinforces your ability to handle the next trial. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is acting despite it. By facing difficult conversations, taking responsibility for failures, or pursuing ambitious goals, you condition your mind to remain steadfast and capable under pressure. Each courageous action expands your limits and solidifies resilience as a permanent trait. Another way to strengthen resilience is by surrounding yourself with supportive influences. People who model perseverance, self-control, and growth-oriented thinking provide examples to follow and encouragement when obstacles arise. Mentorship, community, and accountability reinforce your determination and help maintain perspective during tough times. Positive influences do not remove challenges, but they provide the guidance and motivation needed to continue confronting them with clarity and strength. Ultimately, resilience is the result of deliberate practice. It is forged in the moments of difficulty that you face head-on, the lessons you extract from failure, and the consistency with which you build strength of mind and body. Each challenge encountered and each discomfort embraced adds a layer to your ability to endure, adapt, and thrive. By cultivating resilience, you gain the capacity to navigate life's uncertainties with confidence, act decisively under pressure, and recover quickly from setbacks. It is the foundation of mental toughness and the key to sustained personal growth. In conclusion, resilience is not a trait reserved for a select few. It is a skill that anyone can develop through intention and action. Facing discomfort, learning from hard lessons, managing emotions, maintaining physical health, and practicing patience all contribute to creating a mind capable of handling any adversity. Every difficult situation is an opportunity to strengthen your inner fortitude. By consistently embracing challenges and extracting their lessons, you create a life of unwavering strength, adaptability, and determination. Resilience is not built in comfort, it is built in the crucible of experience, and every time you choose to engage rather than avoid, you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the demands of life. Chapter 3. Control your emotions to respond wisely instead of reacting. Emotional control is the cornerstone of mental toughness and the difference between making decisions that empower you and choices that sabotage your progress. Life will constantly present situations designed to provoke a reaction, unexpected criticism, frustrating obstacles, or moments of intense stress. How you respond in these moments determines the trajectory of your life more than any external factor. Reacting impulsively often leads to regret, missed opportunities, and unnecessary conflict, while responding with awareness and composure creates clarity, influence, and long-term advantage. Learning to control your emotions is not about suppression, it is about mastery, understanding, and deliberate choice. The first step to controlling emotions is recognizing them. Awareness is the gateway to mastery. Often people act without realizing what they feel or why they feel it. Take a moment to pause and identify the emotion in its raw form. Is it anger, fear, frustration, disappointment, or jealousy? Labeling emotions objectively reduces their intensity and allows the mind to process them rationally. When you identify the cause and nature of what you feel, you gain the power to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting automatically. This practice alone can prevent countless mistakes and regrets. Next, examine the triggers behind your emotions. Every intense reaction has a source. Sometimes the trigger is external, like someone's words or a stressful event. Other times it is internal, like an unresolved fear or insecurity. Understanding the root of your feelings allows you to separate the stimulus from the reaction. Emotions are not inherently good or bad. They are data. They indicate what matters to you and reveal areas where your mind or body needs attention. By analyzing triggers, you gain insight into your own patterns and start to break automatic cycles of reaction that have held you back. Pause before responding. This is a critical habit that separates reactive people from those who act with precision and wisdom. When confronted with a situation that provokes emotion, allow a brief moment to breathe, reflect, and decide. Even a few seconds of conscious delay gives your rational mind the chance to assess the situation and select the best course of action. Over time, this pause becomes instinctive, creating a mental buffer between stimulus and response. The ability to pause transforms situations that once caused chaos into opportunities for clarity and influence. Reframing perspective is another essential tool. Emotions are often amplified by the meaning we assign to events. A negative comment can feel like an attack when interpreted personally, but when viewed objectively, it becomes an opportunity to assess criticism, learn, or redirect energy. Resilient people understand that external circumstances do not control their inner state, they control their interpretation. Choosing a perspective that serves your growth, rather than feeding frustration, strengthens emotional resilience and prevents unnecessary mental and physical exhaustion. Developing emotional control requires consistent practice under pressure. Avoiding discomfort does not build strength. Seek situations where you are likely to be tested, debates, stressful work tasks, or intense physical challenges. Use these moments as training grounds to observe and regulate your emotional responses. Each time you succeed in maintaining composure, your brain builds new pathways that reinforce calm and thoughtful action. Emotional mastery is learned behavior, not innate talent. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, and the less likely you are to be swept away by fleeting impulses. Physical techniques also support emotional regulation. The mind and body are inseparable. Stress in one influences the other. Deep, controlled breathing, deliberate posture, and grounding exercises activate the body's calm response and reduce impulsive reactions. When emotions rise, consciously slowing your breath or adjusting your stance sends signals to the brain that it is safe to act deliberately rather than react. Strengthening the body's ability to remain calm in high-stress moments reinforces mental control and ensures that emotions serve you instead of controlling you. Self-talk is a powerful tool for mastering responses. What you say to yourself in moments of tension shapes behavior. Negative or catastrophic self-talk intensifies emotional reactions, while rational, calming dialogue empowers intelligent action. Remind yourself of your capabilities, your goals, and the value of thoughtful responses. Reinforce the understanding that losing control achieves nothing productive. By consciously shaping internal dialogue, you create a foundation for confidence, resilience, and deliberate choice even in challenging circumstances. Setting clear boundaries strengthens emotional stability. When you know what you will tolerate and what you will not, your reactions become predictable and consistent. Boundaries protect your energy, focus, and peace of mind. They prevent overreaction by establishing limits that guide decisions before emotions escalate. Discipline in maintaining boundaries creates consistency in behavior and ensures that your emotional state is not easily hijacked by external pressures or manipulative influences. Reflection after intense moments solidifies learning. Examine situations where emotions run high and evaluate your response. What worked? What could have been handled better? Reflection allows you to transform every challenging interaction into an opportunity to refine emotional control. Over time, this habit of post-event analysis strengthens foresight, increases self-awareness, and builds confidence that you can respond wisely in the future. Each reflection reinforces the understanding that emotions are signals to guide strategy, not commands to obey blindly. Cultivating empathy enhances control. Understanding the perspective and emotions of others prevents reactive hostility and promotes constructive interactions. When you recognize that others operate from their own pressures, insecurities, or misunderstandings, it becomes easier to respond with measured calmness rather than immediate frustration. Emotional mastery is not isolation from others. It is engaging effectively while remaining grounded, composed, and clear-minded. Empathy transforms conflicts into problem-solving opportunities rather than escalating chaos. Long-term emotional control requires patience and endurance. You will not master your responses overnight. Setbacks are inevitable, and moments of loss of control will happen. What defines progress is your commitment to learn from each encounter and continue building awareness. Patience allows you to stay focused on improvement rather than perfection. Each instance of delayed reaction, each mindful pause, each reframed perspective strengthens mental toughness and reinforces the habit of responding wisely under pressure. Creating routines that reinforce stability supports emotional mastery. Daily practices such as journaling, meditation, physical training, and goal setting create consistency and reinforce the mind's ability to regulate itself. These routines cultivate a baseline of calm and awareness, making it easier to respond thoughtfully when challenges arise. Emotional control becomes less about managing chaos and more about maintaining an internal state that is prepared for any external circumstance. Ultimately, controlling emotions is about reclaiming power over your mind. It is about refusing to be a passive participant in life, where feelings dictate action. By observing emotions, analyzing triggers, pausing to respond, reframing perspective, practicing under pressure, and reinforcing habits, you build an unshakable foundation. Each deliberate response strengthens confidence, clarity, and influence. Emotional mastery allows you to navigate conflict, stress, and uncertainty with precision, turning potentially destructive situations into opportunities for growth and strategic action. This is not a one-time achievement, but a lifelong practice. Every moment is a chance to observe, learn, and refine. As control over your emotions strengthens, so does your ability to shape outcomes, maintain focus on priorities, and interact with others constructively. Emotional control is the compass that keeps you steady, the anchor that prevents impulsive drift, and the tool that ensures decisions are guided by reason rather than fleeting impulses. By committing to mastering your emotional responses, you unlock the ability to respond wisely in every situation. Life will remain unpredictable, people will remain challenging, and obstacles will continue to arise. The power lies in how you engage with these circumstances. Choose to observe, choose to reflect, choose to act deliberately. With this practice, you transform emotional energy into clarity, calm, and effective action. Every interaction, every setback, every moment of tension becomes an opportunity to reinforce mental toughness, cultivate patience, and strengthen resilience. Control over your emotions is control over your life. Chapter 4. Develop relentless focus to achieve consistent progress and results. Focus is the engine that transforms effort into measurable progress and turns intention into results. Without it, energy dissipates, goals remain distant, and time becomes wasted on distractions and unproductive activity. Mental toughness requires more than hard work. It demands concentrated, purposeful action toward clearly defined objectives. Relentless focus is the ability to direct attention fully to the task at hand, to resist interruptions, and to maintain clarity of purpose even when challenges or temptations arise. It is not a skill that appears overnight, but a habit cultivated through deliberate practice, awareness, and disciplined routines. The first step in developing focus is clarity. When your goals are vague or undefined, your mind becomes scattered, bouncing from one distraction to another. Clearly define what you are aiming to achieve and why it matters. Understand the outcomes you desire and visualize them in detail. When you know exactly what you want, your mind automatically begins to prioritize actions that align with that vision. Clarity of purpose anchors attention, making it easier to resist temptations and to concentrate on what truly matters. Eliminating distractions is critical. Modern life is filled with constant interruptions, notifications, social media, noise, and even well-meaning people can pull attention away from priorities. Protecting your focus requires proactive boundaries. Set designated times for deep work, remove digital interruptions, and create environments that support interrupted concentration. Even small steps, like turning off notifications or organizing a workspace, dramatically enhance your ability to sustain attention. Focus is nurtured when the mind is shielded from unnecessary stimuli. Time management complements focus. Allocate specific blocks of time for critical tasks and guard them rigorously. When work periods are defined and structured, it reduces mental clutter and decision fatigue. Discipline yourself to commit fully during these periods, avoiding multitasking or partial engagement. The human mind is not designed to split attention effectively. Deep focus produces higher quality results in less time, and structuring your schedule around undisturbed concentration ensures consistency and progress. Prioritization strengthens relentless focus. Not every task is equally important. Identify the actions that have the highest impact on your objectives and dedicate your energy to them first. Avoid spending time on minor, low-value activities that create the illusion of productivity. Consistent progress emerges when your effort is aligned with meaningful outcomes, and relentless focus ensures that energy is spent where it matters most. Developing mental endurance is essential to sustaining focus. Attention is like a muscle. It grows stronger when trained and weakens when neglected. Start by setting small periods of uninterrupted focus and gradually increase duration over time. During these sessions, resist the urge to check messages, entertain distractions, or shift tasks prematurely. Each session of sustained concentration builds the mind's capacity to remain engaged, even under pressure or fatigue. Consistent practice develops the ability to stay fully present and attentive over longer periods. Visualization and mental rehearsal reinforce focus. Picture yourself completing tasks efficiently and achieving the results you desire. Imagine the steps required, anticipate challenges, and visualize maintaining concentration despite potential interruptions. This mental training primes the brain for action and strengthens neural pathways associated with sustained attention. When real-world challenges arise, your mind recalls this preparation, making it easier to remain composed and fully engaged. Mindfulness is a practical tool to enhance attention. Being fully present in the moment reduces mental wandering and increases awareness of what truly demands energy. Mindful practices, such as deep breathing, observation exercises, or short meditation sessions, cultivate an ability to return to the present whenever focus drifts. A mind trained to notice distractions without immediately responding to them strengthens self-control and increases efficiency in completing meaningful tasks. Energy management is another critical factor. Focus cannot be maintained when the body and mind are depleted. Proper sleep, nutrition, and physical activity are foundational to sustained attention. Mental clarity improves when energy levels are stable, reducing the likelihood of impulsive reactions or mental fatigue. Incorporate breaks strategically, allowing the mind to recover and maintain high-level performance over extended periods. Consistent focus depends on maintaining both mental and physical vitality. Establishing routines and rituals supports relentless attention. Consistency in daily habits trains the brain to enter a focused state with minimal friction. Begin each day with structured priorities, review objectives, and set intentions. Ending each session with reflection on progress reinforces accountability and strengthens discipline. Rituals condition the mind to recognize when it is time to engage fully and when it is appropriate to rest, creating a rhythm that sustains concentration naturally. Resisting the pull of instant gratification is vital. Many distractions appeal to immediate pleasure, but erode long-term progress. Social media, entertainment, and shallow engagements fragment attention. By consciously delaying or eliminating these diversions, you train the mind to value sustained effort over fleeting satisfaction. Each decision to prioritize focus over temptation strengthens mental resilience and accelerates achievement. Attention control also involves emotional regulation. Strong emotions, such as frustration, excitement, or anxiety, can hijack focus. Learning to acknowledge emotions without letting them dictate behavior is crucial. Techniques like controlled breathing, grounding exercises, or brief pauses allow the mind to reset and return to task. Focused individuals master their internal state, ensuring that external pressures or internal impulses do not disrupt progress. Tracking progress reinforces focus and accountability. Keeping a record of accomplishments, reviewing completed tasks, and measuring results provide feedback that sharpens concentration. When progress is visible, motivation and attention are sustained. Each milestone achieved reinforces the value of disciplined focus and encourages the continuation of consistent effort. Tracking ensures that energy is consistently aligned with meaningful objectives, minimizing wasted effort. Developing a sense of urgency without panic enhances productivity. Relentless focus thrives in an environment of intentional pressure. Deadlines, self-imposed challenges, or timed sessions create a mental structure that encourages efficiency and sustained attention. Acting with purpose and urgency increases engagement, reduces procrastination, and strengthens the habit of deliberate concentration. Adaptability in focus is also important. Distractions and interruptions are inevitable, but maintaining composure and returning quickly to priority tasks is the hallmark of mental toughness. A resilient mind can recover from minor deviations without losing momentum. Each recovery reinforces the ability to maintain continuous focus over time, even in dynamic or unpredictable environments. Finally, celebrating progress maintains motivation without compromising focus. Acknowledging achievements, no matter how small, reinforces the behavior that leads to results. Each completed task strengthens confidence, encourages continued effort, and creates a positive feedback loop that supports long-term discipline. Relentless focus becomes a natural state when the mind associates sustained attention with tangible achievement and reward. Mastering focus transforms not only productivity but also the quality of life. It allows you to pursue goals with clarity, handle challenges with composure, and achieve consistent results over time. By combining clarity of purpose, structured routines, mindfulness, energy management, emotional regulation, and deliberate practice, the mind becomes a tool of precision. Focused action turns effort into tangible results and ensures that every choice contributes meaningfully to your long-term vision. Chapter 5. Train your mind to overcome fear and self-doubt. Fear and self-doubt are powerful forces that quietly control decisions, limit potential, and undermine confidence if left unchecked. Every individual encounters moments of uncertainty, hesitation, or internal resistance. But the difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate lies in the ability to face these feelings directly. Mental toughness is built when the mind is trained to observe fear and self-doubt without surrendering to them. It requires understanding the nature of these emotions, confronting them systematically, and taking deliberate action despite the discomfort they create. Overcoming fear is not about eliminating it entirely, it is about refusing to allow it to dictate behavior. The first step in addressing fear and self-doubt is awareness. Recognize the thoughts that arise when you feel hesitant or insecure. Fear often manifests as imagined outcomes, exaggerated worst-case scenarios, or the internal voice telling you that you are not capable. Self-doubt appears as questions about your worth, skill, or readiness. By identifying these patterns, you create distance between yourself and the emotion, giving the mind the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting automatically. Observation transforms fear from an uncontrollable force into information to act upon strategically. Breaking down fear into manageable parts is essential. Often fear feels overwhelming because it is treated as a single monolithic obstacle. Analyze the situation logically. What specifically triggers the fear? Which aspects are within your control and which are external? By segmenting the problem, you can approach it step by step rather than feeling paralyzed by its magnitude. This method not only reduces anxiety, but also provides a clear roadmap for action, reinforcing the sense of control and competence. Self-doubt is frequently fueled by comparison. Measuring yourself against others or against imagined standards creates unnecessary pressure and reinforces insecurity. Mental toughness requires focusing on your own progress and capabilities. Reflect on past successes, skills you have developed, and challenges you have already overcome. Anchoring confidence in evidence of your own competence weakens the grip of self-doubt and provides a foundation for courageous action. Each small success builds momentum, proving that fear is not a barrier, but a temporary signal to prepare and adapt. Gradual exposure to fear strengthens mental resilience. Avoiding what intimidates you reinforces the belief that the emotion is insurmountable. Instead, deliberately place yourself in situations that evoke discomfort in controlled ways. Start small and progressively increase the difficulty of challenges. This repeated exposure teaches the brain that fear is a signal rather than a limitation. With each encounter, confidence grows, neural pathways for courage are reinforced, and the mind becomes accustomed to taking action even in the presence of fear. Visualization is a powerful tool to counteract self-doubt. Mentally rehearse difficult scenarios while imagining yourself acting with confidence, clarity, and decisiveness. Envision obstacles, potential setbacks, and challenges, and practice responding calmly and effectively. Visualization prepares the mind to perform under pressure, creating familiarity and reducing uncertainty when facing real-world situations. The brain begins to accept these successful outcomes as achievable, reducing hesitation and strengthening the capacity to act despite fear. Affirmation and self-talk reinforce courage. The internal dialogue shapes perception and behavior. Replace negative thoughts with constructive statements that emphasize capability, effort, and potential. Phrases like, "I am capable of handling this," "I have faced challenges before," or "I will take action regardless of fear," rewire neural patterns to prioritize confidence and action. Consistent reinforcement through self-talk strengthens the mind's resilience and reduces the automaticity of avoidance or hesitation. Focus on preparation and competence as antidotes to fear. Many moments of hesitation stem from perceived unpreparedness. Invest in learning, training, and skill development to increase confidence in your abilities. Competence provides a tangible foundation upon which courage can be built. Fear does not disappear entirely, but it becomes manageable when the mind trusts its own ability to respond effectively. Every incremental improvement in skill or knowledge reinforces the habit of confronting challenges rather than retreating. Adopting a problem-solving mindset transforms fear into action. Instead of fixating on what could go wrong, focus on actionable steps to mitigate risk or overcome obstacles. Treat challenges as puzzles rather than threats. When fear is approached analytically and systematically, it loses much of its emotional intensity and becomes a motivator for deliberate action. Each solution-oriented approach reinforces confidence and creates a feedback loop that strengthens courage over time. Resilience is reinforced through reflection on past experiences. Examine situations where fear or self-doubt previously arose, and consider how you handled them. Identify strategies that worked and those that did not. Recognizing that you have successfully navigated challenges before strengthens trust in your capacity to face future difficulties. This awareness reduces the power of fear and instills a sense of competence that grows with each encounter. Physical techniques can support mental conditioning against fear. Controlled breathing, posture alignment, and grounding exercises reduce physiological arousal that amplifies anxiety. The body and mind are interconnected. Calming the nervous system helps the mind respond with clarity rather than panic. Conditioning the body to remain steady under pressure trains the mind to remain deliberate, making it easier to act courageously in high-stress situations. Accountability accelerates progress. Sharing goals, commitments, or challenges with a trusted mentor, peer, or group reinforces persistence and reduces the likelihood of retreat. External expectations create pressure to act consistently and provide support when fear threatens to prevent action. Accountability ensures that courage is not optional but becomes a structured habit, reinforced by both internal resolve and external reinforcement. Embracing failure as a teacher is fundamental to overcoming self-doubt. Fear is often rooted in the anticipation of mistakes or embarrassment. Redefining failure as an opportunity for learning removes the stigma and diminishes the emotional intensity of hesitation. Every failure is data, every mistake is feedback, and every setback is an opportunity to adapt. By reframing challenges in this way, the mind learns that action, even imperfect action, is far more valuable than inaction driven by fear. Consistency strengthens courage. Confronting fear and self-doubt must be habitual to create lasting change. Small, repeated actions taken in alignment with goals build a foundation of mental resilience. Each deliberate choice to act reinforces the belief that you are capable and prepares you for increasingly complex or intimidating situations. Courage is cumulative. It grows incrementally through persistent practice, reflection, and engagement with challenges. Finally, cultivating a supportive environment reinforces confidence and reduces unnecessary anxiety. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge, inspire, and encourage progress. Minimize exposure to negativity, criticism that is not constructive, or influences that magnify doubt. Environmental factors shape perception and self-belief. By aligning your surroundings with your growth, you create conditions that support sustained courage and diminish the influence of fear. Training the mind to overcome fear and self-doubt transforms the way you navigate life. It turns hesitation into action, limitation into potential, and uncertainty into opportunity. By observing emotions, analyzing triggers, practicing gradual exposure, visualizing success, reinforcing positive self-talk, and embracing failure as feedback, you build an inner fortress of confidence and composure. Mental toughness is born from repeated engagement with discomfort, disciplined action despite hesitation, and unwavering commitment to growth. Each step taken against fear strengthens the mind and expands the horizon of what is possible. Chapter 6. Cultivate patience to stay steady during prolonged struggles. Patience is the quiet power that allows mental toughness to flourish over time. It is not a passive state of waiting. It is an active strength that enables persistence, focus, and clarity during prolonged struggles. Life will inevitably present periods of uncertainty, delayed results, and repeated setbacks, and how you navigate these times defines the trajectory of your personal growth. Developing patience means cultivating a mindset that endures discomfort without frustration, maintains commitment without visible rewards, and sustains effort even when progress appears slow. Those who master patience build resilience that cannot be shaken by circumstances or fleeting emotions. The first step in cultivating patience is understanding the value of time. Real growth, skill acquisition, and meaningful achievement do not occur overnight. Impatience often stems from unrealistic expectations and a desire for instant results. Recognize that the process itself is where strength is forged. Each day spent engaging intentionally with your goals, regardless of visible progress, contributes to your capacity for endurance. Patience is built through consistent effort, reflection, and the recognition that meaningful change requires sustained commitment over weeks, months, and years. Control over immediate reactions is essential. When faced with delays or challenges, the instinctive response is often frustration, anger, or despair. These emotional surges waste energy and cloud judgment. Instead, practice pausing before reacting. Take a deep breath, observe your feelings without judgment, and choose a measured response. Each deliberate pause reinforces the ability to remain calm, assess the situation clearly, and continue acting with purpose. Over time, these small decisions accumulate, strengthening the habit of composure in the face of prolonged adversity. Patience requires embracing discomfort rather than resisting it. Extended struggles are inherently uncomfortable, whether they involve learning a new skill, navigating a difficult career path, or enduring personal challenges. Avoiding discomfort prolongs stagnation, while engaging with it builds endurance. Commit to confronting obstacles directly, even when solutions are not immediate. Recognize that discomfort signals growth, and that sustained effort in challenging circumstances is a hallmark of mental toughness. Each moment of enduring difficulty strengthens your ability to remain steady under pressure. Perspective enhances patience. Long-term goals often involve periods where results are invisible or minimal. Maintaining a clear vision of the bigger picture prevents discouragement during slow progress. Regularly revisit your objectives, remind yourself of the reasons behind your efforts, and visualize the outcomes you seek. When the mind is anchored in purpose, temporary setbacks lose their power to derail motivation. This perspective allows steady, incremental action, transforming extended struggles into opportunities for growth rather than sources of frustration. Structured routines reinforce patient endurance. Habits create predictability, reduce decision fatigue, and allow you to remain consistent over time. Set clear daily practices, define achievable milestones, and maintain a rhythm that aligns with your long-term goals. Each repetition of disciplined behavior builds momentum, providing tangible evidence that progress is being made, even if imperceptible day to day. The routine itself becomes a stabilizing force that sustains effort through prolonged challenges. Mental rehearsal and visualization strengthen resilience during delays. Imagine scenarios where challenges persist, and practice responding calmly, persistently, and strategically. Envision overcoming obstacles through repeated effort, maintaining composure, and focusing on incremental improvement. These exercises train the brain to tolerate slow progress, reinforcing confidence and reducing anxiety during actual struggles. Mental rehearsal prepares the mind to endure situations that test patience and commitment. Cultivating self-compassion is critical. Long periods of struggle can lead to self-criticism and doubt. Recognize that effort and persistence are achievements in themselves, independent of immediate outcomes. Treat yourself with understanding, encourage continued effort, and avoid harsh judgment when results are delayed. Patience is strengthened when the mind feels supported rather than undermined by internal negativity. Compassion fuels endurance by creating a stable emotional foundation during challenges. Incremental progress reinforces patience. Break complex goals into smaller, measurable steps that provide feedback along the way. Each completed task offers proof that effort yields results, even in extended struggles. Celebrating these small wins does not create complacency, but strengthens motivation and demonstrates the cumulative effect of consistent effort. Recognizing progress in increments allows you to remain engaged, confident, and persistent without becoming overwhelmed by the distance to ultimate goals. Focus on controllable factors rather than outcomes. Many frustrations arise from attempting to control external circumstances or rushing results. Concentrate on actions, behaviors, and effort which are fully within your influence. By committing to doing your best each day regardless of immediate feedback, you maintain steadiness and avoid unnecessary stress. Patience is reinforced when you accept what cannot be controlled and dedicate energy to what can be influenced consistently. Breathing and mindfulness techniques support emotional steadiness. Prolonged struggles often trigger tension, impatience, or anxiety. Conscious breathing, meditation, or grounding exercises reduce physiological stress responses and maintain mental clarity. Mindfulness strengthens awareness of thoughts and feelings without being consumed by them, allowing deliberate, patient engagement with ongoing challenges. Over time, these practices train the mind to remain calm and focused even in the midst of extended adversity. Accountability mechanisms enhance persistence. Sharing goals with mentors, peers, or support groups encourages consistency and reinforces effort over time. External reinforcement ensures that patience is not solely reliant on internal motivation, which can fluctuate. Accountability provides feedback, encouragement, and structure that sustains engagement even when immediate results are not visible. It anchors persistence and reinforces the mindset of steady, deliberate action through prolonged challenges. Reframing struggle as opportunity is fundamental. Long-term challenges are natural components of meaningful growth. Viewing difficulty as a teacher rather than a punishment shifts the mindset from frustration to engagement. Each obstacle carries lessons that strengthen judgment, resilience, and self-discipline. Patience is amplified when challenges are understood as necessary elements of a process that ultimately leads to competence, mastery, and achievement. Maintaining perspective on impermanence strengthens endurance. Recognize that struggles are temporary states and that effort invested today accumulates over time. Avoid projecting short-term difficulties as permanent limitations. This understanding prevents discouragement and fosters perseverance. Patience thrives when the mind views setbacks as transient phases within a larger trajectory toward growth and success. Finally, commitment to long-term vision reinforces patience. Every sustained effort, every choice to endure discomfort, and every action taken with discipline contributes to incremental progress that compounds over time. Mental toughness is measured not by rapid results, but by the ability to remain steady, composed, and consistent through prolonged adversity. Cultivating patience ensures that challenges do not derail progress and that long-term goals are pursued with unwavering resolve, transforming extended struggles into opportunities for lasting growth. Chapter 7. Boost confidence by acting decisively and trusting your instincts. Confidence is not an abstract trait reserved for a select few. It is a skill cultivated through consistent action, self-trust, and decisive behavior. Many people underestimate the connection between decision-making and self-assurance, yet the two are inseparable. Indecision feeds doubt, hesitation magnifies fear, and uncertainty erodes belief in one's capabilities. Acting decisively strengthens inner trust, reinforces competence, and builds a sense of control over outcomes. True confidence is developed when you consistently rely on your judgment, trust your instincts, and take action even when clarity is not absolute. The first principle in boosting confidence is committing fully to your decisions. Half-hearted choices or constant second-guessing signal to the mind that it cannot rely on your judgment. Each deliberate decision, regardless of outcome, trains your brain to evaluate options quickly and act with certainty. Begin with small choices in everyday life: what task to tackle first, how to structure your day, or how to respond in a conversation. Each choice executed decisively strengthens the neural pathways associated with confidence, building a foundation for larger and more significant decisions over time. Trusting instincts requires awareness and alignment with experience. Instinct is not random. It is the synthesis of prior knowledge, patterns, and observations. Learn to recognize gut feelings as data points that inform action. Test them through small decisions and observe outcomes. When instincts consistently guide effective choices, your trust in them grows. Confidence flourishes when you accept that your mind and body possess an innate ability to evaluate situations rapidly, and decisive action bridges the gap between intuition and tangible results. Preparation amplifies decisive action. Confidence does not mean acting blindly. It means acting informed and intentional. Research, practice, and understanding create a foundation that makes decisions quicker and more accurate. The more prepared you are, the easier it becomes to act decisively without hesitation. Confidence is the natural byproduct of competence. Every skill developed, every scenario practiced, and every problem solved reinforces the ability to act with assurance. Embrace the mindset of learning through action. Waiting for perfect conditions or complete certainty creates paralysis. Real confidence grows when decisions are made, outcomes are assessed, and lessons are incorporated. Even mistakes strengthen self-belief when approached as feedback rather than judgment. Acting decisively, accepting responsibility, and adjusting strategies in real time develops resilience, improves judgment, and fortifies belief in your own capabilities. Each decisive action reinforces the understanding that you are capable of navigating uncertainty effectively. Physical presence supports mental confidence. Body language, posture, and movement communicate assurance to yourself and others. Stand tall, maintain steady eye contact, and speak clearly when expressing decisions or opinions. Physical cues reinforce mental states, and consistent alignment between body and mind amplifies confidence. Your brain interprets the body's posture as a signal of competence, which enhances focused decision-making and the ability to trust instincts in dynamic situations. Overcoming fear is central to acting decisively. Fear often manifests as hesitation, procrastination, or avoidance. When you confront fear directly and move forward despite uncertainty, confidence expands exponentially. Small actions taken in the presence of fear condition the mind to perceive challenges as manageable rather than threatening. The accumulation of courageous decisions builds a deep reservoir of self-assurance, demonstrating through experience that discomfort does not dictate capability or success. Set clear priorities to guide decisive action. Confidence is strongest when decisions align with values, goals, and principles. When you know what matters most, choices become simpler, less stressful, and more consistent. Clarity in priorities reduces mental friction, allowing instincts to operate without interference from conflicting thoughts. Decisions grounded in purpose reinforce self-belief, and consistent alignment between action and intention strengthens trust in both judgment and personal direction. Reflection enhances confidence by transforming action into wisdom. After making decisions, evaluate outcomes honestly. Identify what went well, what could be improved, and what lessons can be applied moving forward. Reflection turns experience into insight, refining instincts and making future choices more precise. Confidence grows when the mind sees a pattern of capability, learning, and adjustment, creating a feedback loop that reinforces decisive behavior and trust in judgment. Consistency in decision-making builds momentum. Repeated practice of acting promptly and responsibly reduces hesitation over time. Each day presents opportunities to make choices that affirm competence, whether in professional settings, personal challenges, or social interactions. Momentum generated through consistent, decisive actions strengthens the mind's confidence, reduces anxiety about outcomes, and cultivates a reliable sense of self-trust that persists even under pressure. Emotional regulation is necessary for decisive action. Strong emotions, such as doubt, anger, or excitement, can cloud judgment and delay decisions. Techniques like deep breathing, mindful observation, or brief pauses allow the mind to reset and act with clarity. Acting decisively does not mean ignoring emotions, it means managing them so they inform rather than dictate choices. Emotional balance ensures decisions are both timely and effective. Visualization reinforces instinctual confidence. Mentally rehearse scenarios where decisions must be made under uncertainty. Picture yourself assessing options quickly, acting decisively, and handling outcomes effectively. Visualization trains the mind to expect success, reduces anxiety about unknown variables, and strengthens the connection between instinct and action. The brain begins to recognize decisive behavior as achievable, making real-life implementation smoother and more assured. Seek input selectively, without surrendering authority. Gathering information from trusted sources can improve decision-making, but over-reliance or excessive consultation erodes confidence. Balance listening with internal evaluation. Trust your judgment to synthesize advice, assess relevance, and act appropriately. Decisive action is not isolation, it is the ability to integrate external insights while maintaining autonomy. This approach develops both discernment and confidence simultaneously. Patience within decisiveness is equally important. Confidence does not require rushing or impulsivity. Consider options efficiently, act promptly, and commit fully once a choice is made. Indecision stems from over-analyzing or fear of mistakes. Combining timely consideration with committed action cultivates self-trust and ensures that choices are deliberate rather than reactive. Each successful integration of speed and thoughtfulness strengthens confidence and reinforces instinctual guidance. Commitment to responsibility strengthens decisiveness. Confidence grows when you take ownership of decisions, outcomes, and consequences. Avoid deflecting blame or waiting for external validation. Responsibility reinforces the mind's ability to trust itself, learn from errors, and adjust strategies for future actions. The combination of ownership and decisiveness forms a foundation for consistent self-assurance that is resistant to external pressures or internal doubts. Actively challenge comfort zones to reinforce instinctual confidence. Making decisions in familiar situations is easy, but true growth occurs when facing uncertainty, complexity, or high stakes. Each successful decision outside the comfort zone expands belief in capability, sharpens instincts, and strengthens the habit of decisive action. Repeated exposure to challenging scenarios ensures that confidence is not situational, but robust and adaptable. Ultimately, confidence is built through a cycle of awareness, preparation, decisive action, and reflection. Trusting instincts is reinforced by experience, learning, and deliberate engagement with challenges. Each choice made with clarity and commitment enhances self-belief, reduces hesitation, and solidifies the mind's ability to act under pressure. Mental toughness is inseparable from the capacity to make decisions decisively and to trust that your judgment, once exercised, is capable, reliable, and worthy of action. Chapter 8. Master stress by creating calm routines under pressure. Stress is a natural response to challenge, but the way it is managed determines whether it becomes a tool for growth or a barrier to progress. Mental toughness is not the absence of stress, but the ability to maintain composure, clarity, and effectiveness under pressure. Developing calm routines under stress transforms anxiety into focus, tension into productivity, and chaos into controlled action. Those who master stress create consistent habits, mental strategies, and physical practices that allow them to respond rather than react, sustaining performance even in high-pressure situations. The first step to mastering stress is understanding its source. Stress arises when demands exceed perceived capacity or when uncertainty threatens desired outcomes. By identifying triggers, whether external pressures, internal expectations, or environmental factors, you gain control over the reaction rather than being controlled by it. Awareness allows you to anticipate stressful situations and implement strategies before tension escalates, converting reactive patterns into proactive responses. Recognizing the signals of stress in the body, such as increased heart rate, shallow breathing, or tension, is critical to timely intervention. Creating structured routines under pressure provides stability. When the external environment is unpredictable, a predictable internal rhythm stabilizes the mind. Daily habits, rituals, and sequences of action serve as anchors that maintain equilibrium during stressful events. Simple routines, such as morning preparation, task sequencing, and scheduled reflection, give the mind familiar points of reference. These habits reduce cognitive load, allow quicker decision-making, and provide a sense of control even when circumstances are chaotic. Breathing techniques are powerful tools to regulate stress. Slow, deep, and intentional breathing reduces physiological arousal and calms the nervous system. Techniques such as counting breaths, inhaling deeply through the nose, holding briefly, and exhaling slowly signal the body to shift from reactive to composed states. Practicing controlled breathing regularly trains the mind to return to calm automatically under pressure. This foundation supports focus, measured decision-making, and clear thinking, transforming stress into a manageable force rather than an overwhelming burden. Preparation enhances calmness under pressure. Anticipating challenges, rehearsing scenarios, and gathering resources in advance creates confidence and reduces uncertainty. Mental rehearsal allows the brain to simulate stressful conditions and practice responses, making real-life stress feel familiar and less threatening. By preparing systematically, the mind and body develop the habit of responding with deliberate action rather than panic, reinforcing a sense of mastery over pressure. Mindfulness strengthens the ability to remain present during stress. Paying attention to the moment without judgment reduces rumination on potential outcomes or past mistakes. which are major sources of anxiety. Techniques such as body scanning, mindful observation, and grounding exercises train awareness and allow conscious choice in response to stimuli. Mindful presence prevents stress from escalating and enhances the ability to act efficiently, calmly, and strategically. Physical routines support mental stability under pressure. Exercise, stretching, and consistent movement release tension, improve energy regulation, and maintain physiological resilience. Physical conditioning prepares the body to handle stresses without fatigue or excessive strain. Incorporating simple practices like brief walks, stretching sessions, or targeted workouts into daily routines reduces the cumulative impact of stress and strengthens endurance for sustained challenges. Prioritization is essential when pressure intensifies. Stress often multiplies when too many demands compete for attention. Identifying the most critical tasks, focusing on what produces the greatest impact, and deferring or delegating lower value activities creates mental clarity and reduces overwhelm. A structured approach to prioritization ensures energy is invested efficiently, and consistent routines ensure these priorities are addressed, even during chaotic circumstances. Reflection and debriefing cultivate resilience. After high-stress periods, reviewing actions, evaluating results, and identifying lessons learned strengthens the ability to manage future pressure. Reflection provides perspective, reduces fear of repetition, and transforms stressful experiences into growth opportunities. By systematically processing challenges, the mind develops confidence that stress is navigable rather than threatening, reinforcing calm routines under pressure. Time management reduces tension. Structured schedules, defined work blocks, and planned breaks prevent accumulation of pressure. Overloading the day with unplanned tasks creates unnecessary stress, whereas intentional time allocation allows for controlled execution. Protecting periods for deep work and recovery ensures that energy remains sufficient to respond calmly and effectively to challenges, reinforcing the mental habit of steady engagement under stress. Cognitive reframing transforms perception of stress. Viewing pressure as an opportunity rather than a threat shifts the mind's response from defensive to proactive. Reframing challenges as chances to practice skill, demonstrate capability, or achieve growth reduces fear and heightens motivation. This perspective allows stress to become a productive signal that focuses attention, sharpens problem solving, and encourages decisive action rather than a paralyzing force. Accountability strengthens composure under pressure. Sharing plans, goals, and responsibilities with trusted partners reinforces commitment and consistency. Knowing that others are aware of actions encourages disciplined adherence to routines and reduces impulsive reactions driven by stress. External accountability complements internal self-regulation, ensuring that calm, consistent behavior persists even when external circumstances are tense. Nutrition and hydration affect stress resilience. Maintaining stable energy levels supports mental clarity and emotional regulation. Consuming balanced meals, avoiding excess stimulants, and staying hydrated reduce the physical impact of stress. The body's response to pressure is closely linked to physiological state, and consistent care enhances capacity to maintain calm routines under strain. Sleep is a critical foundation for managing stress. Adequate rest consolidates memory, restores energy, and improves emotional stability. Sleep deprivation amplifies reactivity, reduces focus, and undermines patience. Establishing routines that prioritize quality sleep ensures the mind can sustain composure and cognitive effectiveness even when external pressures are high. Micro-routines during stressful events anchor focus and calm. Simple actions, such as organizing a workspace, reviewing key points, or stepping back for a brief pause create moments of control. These small, consistent practices maintain clarity, prevent escalation of anxiety, and reinforce the habit of responding strategically rather than reacting impulsively. Progressive exposure to challenging conditions enhances resilience. Deliberately engaging with stressful scenarios in controlled settings conditions the mind to remain steady under pressure. Each exposure reduces sensitivity to future stress, improves decision-making, and reinforces the perception that pressure can be managed effectively. By repeatedly practicing calm routines, mental toughness becomes instinctual rather than situational. Supportive social connections buffer stress. Impact. Engaging with individuals who provide guidance, perspective, and encouragement strengthens emotional stability. Constructive interactions prevent isolation, offer alternative strategies, and reduce the perception of threat in high-pressure circumstances. Building networks that support growth and composure reinforces the ability to maintain calm routines, even during extended challenges. Consistency is key in mastering stress. Calm routines only become reliable when practiced regularly across contexts. Daily habits, repetition, and reinforcement of strategies ensure that responses under pressure are automatic, effective, and grounded. Over time, the mind develops the capacity to remain composed in any situation, transforming stress from a limiting factor into a controlled and manageable influence on performance. Mastering stress is the foundation of mental toughness. By understanding triggers, implementing structured routines, practicing mindfulness, managing the body, and reinforcing strategies through repetition, the mind learns to maintain clarity and composure under pressure. Calm routines convert stress into a tool for focus, resilience, and sustained achievement. The ability to respond rather than react ensures consistent progress, improved decision-making, and the endurance to navigate even the most challenging circumstances with poise and confidence. Chapter 9. Expand perseverance by setting goals and pursuing them relentlessly. Perseverance is the engine that drives achievement, and it is cultivated by setting clear goals and committing to them without hesitation. Without direction, effort can scatter, energy can dissipate, and challenges can derail progress. Goals act as anchors, providing clarity, purpose, and a roadmap for consistent action. Mental toughness is reinforced each time the mind chooses persistence over surrender, action over procrastination, and commitment over fleeting motivation. True perseverance is demonstrated not in moments of ease, but in times of struggle, when obstacles threaten to disrupt progress and only steadfast determination can carry the day. The first step in expanding perseverance is defining goals with precision. Vague intentions such as "I want to succeed" or "I want to improve" lack the focus necessary to sustain long-term effort. Clear, measurable, and achievable objectives give direction and create a sense of accountability to oneself. Break larger goals into actionable steps that can be implemented daily. Each small step completed reinforces capability and builds momentum, showing the mind that persistence produces tangible outcomes. Understanding why each goal matters is essential. Motivation fueled by external pressures or superficial desires is temporary. Goals anchored in personal meaning, growth, or contribution create intrinsic drive that sustains perseverance. Reflect on the reasons behind your objectives and remind yourself consistently of the value they provide. This connection to purpose allows persistence to continue even when progress feels slow or obstacles seem insurmountable. Consistency is critical to relentless pursuit. Perseverance is not built in bursts of effort, but in steady, daily commitment. Developing routines that prioritize goal-related actions ensures that effort becomes habitual rather than dependent on fluctuating emotions. Regular engagement with objectives, even when enthusiasm wanes, reinforces mental resilience and strengthens the habit of continuing despite challenges. The cumulative effect of consistent action outweighs sporadic bursts of intensity and builds unshakable determination over time. Anticipate obstacles as part of the process. Challenges, setbacks, and unexpected difficulties are inevitable when pursuing meaningful goals. Mental toughness grows when these obstacles are met with proactive problem-solving instead of surrender. Prepare strategies in advance, identify potential pitfalls, and cultivate adaptability. Viewing challenges as opportunities to refine skill, learn and improve perspective transforms adversity into a catalyst for perseverance rather than a reason to quit. Tracking progress reinforces commitment. Document achievements, milestones, and lessons learned along the way. Concrete evidence of progress strengthens motivation, provides reassurance during difficult periods, and makes long-term goals feel attainable. Reviewing progress regularly allows the mind to recognize improvement, reinforcing the connection between effort and results, and building confidence in one's ability to persist. Focus and prioritization enhance the ability to pursue goals relentlessly. Distraction and scattered attention dilute energy and slow progress. Identify the most impactful actions, concentrate effort on them, and eliminate unnecessary interruptions. Prioritizing effectively ensures that effort is not wasted, and consistent focus compounds results over time, reinforcing perseverance through visible progress and sustained momentum. Emotional regulation supports relentless pursuit. Frustration, doubt, and anxiety can disrupt persistence if unmanaged. Developing techniques to maintain composure under pressure, such as deep breathing, mental rehearsal, or mindful reflection, preserves clarity and prevents emotional fatigue from derailing effort. Mental toughness grows as the mind learns to maintain steady engagement despite emotional turbulence. Flexibility in approach without abandoning goals is vital. Perseverance does not mean rigidly following a single path when circumstances demand adaptation. Experiment with strategies, refine methods, and adjust tactics as needed. But never compromise on the commitment to achieve the goal. This balance of determination and adaptability strengthens resilience, making progress more sustainable over the long term. Accountability accelerates the development of perseverance. Sharing goals with mentors, peers, or supportive communities reinforces consistency and provides external reinforcement to stay committed. Feedback and encouragement help maintain momentum, provide perspective during setbacks, and inspire continued effort when internal motivation fluctuates. External accountability supplements self-discipline and reinforces mental toughness through repeated practice of persistence. Celebrate milestones to sustain energy. Recognition of achievement, no matter how small, fuels motivation and encourages continuation. Each success affirms capability, validates effort, and demonstrates the cumulative impact of consistent action. Celebrating progress maintains enthusiasm and helps sustain long-term commitment even when final outcomes are distant or difficult to visualize. Visualization strengthens the mind's commitment to goals. Mentally rehearsing successful completion, imagining challenges, and practicing responses reinforces the connection between intention and action. Visualization trains the brain to anticipate difficulties, remain focused under pressure, and persevere through discomfort. By repeatedly envisioning success, the mind internalizes resilience and prepares to act decisively when obstacles arise. Self-discipline is inseparable from perseverance. Motivation alone is insufficient. Disciplined action ensures continued effort, regardless of emotional state or external conditions. Developing habits that prioritize goal-oriented activity strengthens the ability to persist without relying on temporary inspiration. Each day of disciplined effort reinforces mental toughness and establishes a foundation for long-term achievement. Resilience grows by embracing failure as feedback. Temporary setbacks are not evidence of inadequacy, but opportunities to adjust, learn, and improve strategies. Reflecting on mistakes without self-criticism fosters growth, reinforces commitment, and strengthens the mind's capacity to endure challenges. Perseverance flourishes when failure is reframed as a stepping stone rather than a barrier, and each recovery builds deeper confidence and determination. Time management enhances relentless pursuit. Allocate dedicated periods for focused work, limit multitasking, and eliminate distractions that drain energy. Structured time blocks allow concentrated effort on meaningful tasks, reinforce consistency, and prevent burnout. Efficient use of time ensures that daily actions align with long-term goals and that persistence translates into measurable progress. Inner dialogue shapes perseverance. Self-encouragement, constructive reflection, and belief in capability fuel sustained effort. Replace negative self-talk with affirmations that reinforce commitment, resilience, and the value of persistence. Over time, consistent reinforcement strengthens confidence, reduces hesitation, and empowers continuous action toward objectives. Patience is a companion to perseverance. Understanding that meaningful outcomes require time prevents discouragement during extended effort. Patience allows steady engagement, minimizes impulsive decisions, and reinforces consistent practice, ensuring that effort continues even when immediate results are not visible. The combination of patience and relentless action creates enduring mental toughness capable of navigating long-term challenges. Exposure to progressively challenging tasks enhances perseverance. Gradually increasing difficulty strengthens endurance, expands problem-solving capacity, and builds confidence in the ability to overcome obstacles. Incremental growth through sustained effort ensures that persistence is not limited to simple tasks, but becomes applicable to complex and demanding objectives. Focus on controllable elements reinforces sustained effort. External circumstances often introduce unpredictability, but concentrating on actions, decisions, and attitudes within control maintains momentum. By investing energy where it can create impact, perseverance becomes a consistent, reliable force rather than reactive or dependent on luck. Ultimately, expanding perseverance through goal setting and relentless pursuit transforms potential into achievement. Each deliberate action, structured routine, and adaptive approach strengthens mental toughness and fosters resilience. The mind trained to persist consistently under pressure gains confidence, mastery, and the capacity to navigate challenges with unwavering determination. Commitment, discipline, and relentless pursuit are the cornerstones of accomplishment, and through these practices, mental toughness becomes an enduring characteristic that drives success across every area of life. Chapter 10. Sharpen self-awareness to recognize weaknesses and improve daily. Self-awareness is the foundation of mental toughness, and it is cultivated through honest observation, reflection, and intentional growth. The ability to understand one's thoughts, emotions, habits, and behaviors allows the mind to recognize weaknesses, leverage strengths, and consistently improve. Without self-awareness, effort can be misdirected, bad habits can persist unnoticed, and potential can remain unrealized. Developing this skill requires disciplined introspection, the courage to confront uncomfortable truths, and the commitment to take deliberate action every day to strengthen character and capability. The first step in sharpening self-awareness is observing personal patterns objectively. Monitor reactions to challenges, stress, success, and failure. Notice recurring behaviors, emotional responses, and decision-making tendencies. Documenting these patterns through journaling, notes, or audio reflections allows for a clear view of recurring habits that may support or hinder growth. Awareness of these behaviors provides a baseline to identify areas that require improvement and to measure progress over time. Understanding emotional triggers is central to self-awareness. Recognize situations that provoke frustration, fear, or impulsivity. Observe physical and mental reactions without judgment, noting how emotions influence decisions and behavior. By identifying triggers, the mind gains the ability to anticipate responses, regulate reactions, and choose constructive paths instead of being driven by impulse. Emotional insight strengthens resilience, decision-making, and overall mental toughness. Reflection strengthens understanding of weaknesses and strength. After completing tasks, facing challenges, or engaging in interactions, review outcomes critically and honestly. Ask questions such as what went well, what could have been handled differently, and which behaviors contributed to success or struggle. Reflection converts experience into knowledge, allowing consistent refinement of strategies and reinforcing a cycle of continuous self-improvement. Soliciting feedback from trusted sources enhances perception. Others often notice patterns, blind spots, or habits that are invisible to oneself. Constructive feedback, when received openly and without defensiveness, provides insights that accelerate self-awareness. By comparing personal perception with external observations, the mind can identify inconsistencies, adjust behaviors, and implement corrective actions with precision. Journaling is a practical tool to sharpen awareness. Writing thoughts, decisions, emotional reactions, and daily experiences creates a tangible record of behavior patterns over time. Reviewing journal entries allows recognition of recurring mistakes, habits that hinder progress, and areas of strength. Journaling fosters accountability, encourages deliberate reflection, and provides concrete evidence of growth and areas needing attention. Mindful observation of daily routines enhances awareness of habits. Every day is composed of countless actions, decisions, and automatic behaviors that collectively shape progress. Take note of how time is spent, how energy is allocated, and which choices align with goals. Observing routines without judgment reveals inefficiencies, unproductive tendencies, and patterns that can be optimized. Awareness of daily habits ensures that improvement efforts are practical, targeted, and effective. Understanding cognitive biases is critical. The mind often interprets situations through filters that distort perception and judgment. Recognizing tendencies toward overconfidence, confirmation bias, or avoidance allows for more accurate self-assessment. Identifying cognitive patterns strengthens decision-making, reduces errors, and cultivates humility, a key component of self-awareness and mental toughness. Developing self-questioning habits strengthens insight. Regularly ask clear, focused questions about behavior, choices, and motivations. Inquire why certain decisions are made, what assumptions influence actions, and how alternatives could have been approached. This deliberate interrogation of one's thought processes enhances clarity, reveals hidden weaknesses, and promotes intentional, informed action toward improvement. Consistency in self-assessment ensures ongoing growth. One-time reflection or sporadic awareness is insufficient. Daily practices, such as reviewing actions, noting reactions, and evaluating progress, embed self-awareness into routine behavior. The mind becomes trained to detect weaknesses quickly, make adjustments in real time, and leverage opportunities to strengthen character and performance continuously. Tracking measurable progress reinforces awareness and improvement. Establish benchmarks for personal growth, whether in emotional regulation, skill development, or productivity. Compare outcomes against these standards to identify trends and areas requiring focus. Objective tracking ensures that self-awareness translates into actionable insights rather than abstract understanding, bridging observation with tangible results. Embracing vulnerability enhances recognition of weaknesses. Admitting limitations, mistakes, or uncertainty requires courage, but strengthens self-awareness. Vulnerability allows the mind to confront areas needing development without avoidance. Accepting imperfection as an opportunity rather than a failure creates space for consistent improvement, reinforces humility, and strengthens resilience. Developing emotional granularity deepens awareness. Learning to distinguish subtle variations in emotions, such as frustration versus disappointment or anxiety versus anticipation, allows more precise regulation of responses. Identifying nuances enhances decision-making, reduces reactive behavior, and strengthens the ability to maintain composure under stress. Each layer of emotional understanding adds depth to self-awareness and supports targeted growth. Integrating self-awareness with goal-setting amplifies effectiveness. Recognize weaknesses that directly impact the pursuit of objectives and prioritize improvement efforts accordingly. For example, if procrastination undermines consistency, develop systems and habits that address this specific issue. By aligning insight with action, self-awareness becomes a tool for measurable advancement rather than passive observation. Visualization and mental rehearsal support recognition of improvement opportunities. Imagine situations where weaknesses could be exposed and rehearse effective responses. Visualizing alternative actions enhances preparedness, reinforces adaptive behavior, and allows the mind to anticipate challenges before they arise. This deliberate exercise strengthens insight, refines decision-making, and enhances confidence in handling future scenarios. Self-awareness is reinforced through reflection on values and alignment. Examine whether actions, behaviors, and routines reflect personal principles. Misalignment creates internal tension, undermines confidence, and diminishes performance. Identifying inconsistencies between values and actions highlights areas for adjustment, ensuring that personal growth is authentic, integrated, and sustainable. Mind-body awareness supports mental insight. Observing physiological cues, such as tension, fatigue, or stress, provides signals about mental states and reactions. Physical awareness complements cognitive observation, offering a holistic understanding of responses under pressure. The mind becomes attuned to the interplay between body and thought, enabling quicker, more accurate interventions to correct course or regulate emotion. Commitment to continuous improvement strengthens the self-awareness cycle. Recognize that development is ongoing and incremental. Daily practice of reflection, observation, and adjustment creates a compounding effect where weaknesses are addressed, strengths are leveraged, and mental toughness grows progressively. Self-awareness is not a destination, but a dynamic, evolving skill that sustains resilience, clarity, and performance throughout life. Ultimately, sharpening self-awareness enables recognition of limitations, informed decision-making, and consistent growth. By observing patterns, evaluating actions, embracing feedback, and committing to daily improvement, the mind becomes agile, disciplined, and resilient. Mental toughness is reinforced when the individual understands both strengths and weaknesses, acts intentionally, and continually refines behavior to achieve peak performance. This self-knowledge creates the foundation for enduring growth, adaptability, and mastery in every area of life.